Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. I am Cheryl. This is your Journey Yoga, and today we're going to spend some time. If you have some sore muscles going on after leg day, or if you've done something big and you've been working in the yard, or you've had a marathon, or you've been playing pickleball, or whatever it is, whatever you've been doing, and you're just feeling really tight from the waist down, you're in the right place. So we're going to do some gentle stretches. We're going to do a little self-massage. We're going to do some fascia release. Recommended is a foam roller. Doesn't matter what kind it is. You can have a low density. You can have a high density. You can use a PVC pipe if you've got one handy. So whatever your tool is that you like to work with, grab it. I also have a softball. You can have a massage ball. I love the softball because I love the size for where we're going to use this. It can also be a little bit more intense. So just know that. We'll manage by how much weight we allow to be distributed onto the ball. So you can adjust by how much you are supporting yourself or how much you are giving gravity the pleasure of getting into that ball a little deeper. So whatever you wish. So some self-massage, some gentle stretches. Yeah, let's get on with it. All right. So we've got all kinds of beautiful muscles in those legs, in the glutes, that can get really, really, really tight. So we are going to start just a nice easy stretch. I would like you to bring one leg back. If that is not something happening for you because the knee is not going to cooperate, I would like you to just extend that right leg out. Otherwise, knee back, and we just create that Z shape. Hands are going to be down by your sides, and just sit up nice and tall. I want you to notice what's going on. Quadriceps, hips, glutes, knees, and just sit up nice and tall. If it feels good to you, yeah, bring those hands forward. You can stop with just that little lean forward, or you can continue it on down, coming down onto your forearms, or fully extending all the way down. So gentle is the key, my friends. So really working to be kind to your body. We want to make sure that we are not causing any more inflammation, any more irritation with it. We want the blood flow to get into that area, and we want it to release and relax. You're welcome to stack fists, maybe bringing your forehead down to relax. I just want you to take some big deep breaths. So we're going to do this on each side, and then we're going to come in and we're going to work a little bit with the foam roller and release that outer glute just a bit and see how it changes when we come back to it. It's pretty cool when we see the benefits of what we're doing. One more good breath in. I just want you to take note of the intensity and the range of motion. And then go ahead and come on back up. And let's switch sides. So that left leg now can be out long, or yep, you can tuck it around behind you. Checking in, just sitting up nice and tall. What's going on through that left hip? What's going on through that left quad? How about those knees, ankles, lower back? What are you feeling? You might feel a little popping and cracking going on. You might hear some things going on. As long as there's no pain, you're good to go. It's your body adjusting to find that better place, that happier place. And let's walk it out. Bringing the hands forward. Yep. So you can stay here, or you can continue to walk it out, coming down onto your forearms. You're welcome to stack your hands. Either one can be on top. Does not matter. It's just whatever feels good to you so that you can actually relax and surrender into this stretch. If there is pain, if there is tingling or numbness, yes, I encourage you to get out, adjust. Maybe this just isn't the proper place to be today, and that's okay. Couple more good deep breaths. Really allowing our bodies an opportunity to really stretch and to find that length and that space. Let's go ahead and walk the hands back up. So let's grab that foam roller. You can get these, you guys, anywhere. This is a high density, so there's a white that's a low density, a blue that's a medium density, and the black high density. So the density means it's just going to be a little more intense. So it's harder to push into, not quite as pliable. So when you sit on it, it's not going to give. Okay, the white one will give. It's kind of like a swimming noodle, if you will, but it's a little bit bigger diameter, so it's not going to be quite as as forgiving as a swimming noodle. So we're just going to sit on our foam roller. Okay, so we're going to work that right side first. So bringing the hands for support, I'm going to come onto my right hand. I'm going to roll to my right hip, just to that outer glute, crossing that right ankle over the left knee. And I'm just going to hold my ankle in place and just roll front to back. So you might not feel a whole lot. It might feel pretty good. And if that's the case, smile. Okay. So as you start to roll to the left a little bit, so drawing that left shoulder back, you feel any more. So we're just going to kind of work our way, and you can rock it. And you can move as fast or as slowly as you like. Just be mindful so you don't slide right off of your foam roller. And we're just going to stay, right in that area. If you find a spot that's kind of a trigger point that you're like, woo, okay, I just want you to stay on there, and I want you to sit. I want you to breathe, and I want you to give in to that space, and I want you to relax your knee a little bit. So if you want to, pull the knee in and then gently press it out. So as we lift the knee, so adding some movement as well as that pressure on that trigger point can help that fascia release. So that fascia, that soft tissue that lines to the outside of all the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, it can get upset sometimes when it's dehydrated, if it's been injured, if it's been overworked, just with the days that go by, if we don't give it a little TLC, it can get entangled and really feel like a muscle. Moving. Yes, it is. So we can lift and lower. So it can really feel like a muscle knot, that muscle knot, and working it out, but actually it's your fascia. So we want to make sure we're hydrated. We want to give a little love. Again, rocking back and forth, side to side. So just your movements creates the massage, right? And then we're going to come back up, and we're going to switch sides. So just so I don't have my bum in your face, I'm going to switch sides. You can take care of you. And now we're going to work that left side. All right, so crossing that left ankle over the right knee, I'm on my left hand, and I'm going to roll over to that right outer hip, holding on just to keep that ankle in place and rocking side to side. Now you're going to notice that you probably have more intensity on one side. So you're a little more locked up on one side than the other. And if you're like wanting to cry, okay, so I want you to push through that right foot a little bit more and lift the weight of your body off of that foam roller. Otherwise, just sink in, let gravity do the work. So the deeper you can get in, as long as you're tolerating it, I don't want you to cry. No, this might make you a little sweaty though. It's amazing that sometimes the foam roller work can cause you to be sweaty, because it's a lot of work to let go of that tension and tightness in those muscles. And again, if you find that space, rock side to side. Always keeping the core engaged so that we're not sinking into the shoulder, we're not sinking into the back. This side feels a little bit better for me. Hopefully it does for you too. I always carry more on my right side than my left. That's kind of my preferred side. I always feel a little bit stronger, a little more coordinated on that right side. So if you're a lefty, you might feel that on your left side. Okay, so if you find that spot again, maybe lift the knee and lower it. Okay, so just your pace. Whatever feels right. And it might sneak, it might move on you. That's one of the things about your fascia, right? It's a soft tissue. If it is a muscle knot, it can kind of slide down the fibrous tissues of the muscle. So listen and move, adjust. If it's too intense, get off of it, because you can overdo too. So we want to be, find that balance, find that good space where you're doing good stuff, but not overworking. All right, maybe one more breath, one more movement. And release that foot. Let's go ahead and come back down onto the floor. Set that foam roller off to the side. And again, so that right leg can be long, or we can bend that knee. And I just want you to take a second as we're here already. What do you feel? Huge difference for me. What a beautiful thing. I hope it is for you. So we're working to kind of level out that pelvis here. You might notice that you kind of have to rock and turn. We're really working to sit up nice and tall and level out the pelvis. How does that work for you? Okay, if it's not 100%, it's okay. We're doing the best we can, always. Sitting up nice and tall, always promoting that good posture. We lean forward just a bit, keeping that length in the spine. How's it feel? You can continue to walk it forward if you're like, wow, that was like crazy good. Oh, yay. We love that. And just let yourself sink. So maybe now, body's a little more forgiving. You can flatten out those fists and rest the forehead against the back of the hands. You can open those arms out to a T, forehead to the mat. You can extend those arms out long, fingertips out towards the front. So just find that space that feels good to you. And breathe. So as we incorporate and we add together the massage, the foam roller, the stretching, the breathing, it is amazing how your body responds in letting go. And not to say, let's go ahead and press it back up. Not to say that it's going to be 100%, but it's going to be a heck of a lot better. Let's switch sides. So that left leg is going to go out or sweep back. You decide what's right. And as we work to level out that pelvis, are you holding more or less tension in that left hip? You decide. You listen to your body. Breathe. You can stay up nice and tall, or if you like, hinge it forward. So as we progress towards coming down towards the mat, towards the floor, stop before pain. Okay, there's no reason to go to pain. There's no reason to go to a level 10 on the intensity scale. Always just go to where you're comfortable and you know you're doing something good for yourself. So go ahead and come on down if you like. Stack the fists if that works. Let your forehead relax. Soften your face, relax your eyes, soften your jaw. And listen to your body. Find your breath. Remember, this is about gentle stretches. It's not crazy stretches. It's about taking care of yourself. And let's go ahead and come on back up. Good, and we're going to come back and sit back onto our hands. So kind of just leaning back, feet are going to be nice and wide. We're lifting the chest and we're just going to rock our hips, our knees side to side. A little hip mobility, a little gentle stretch through the inner thigh, the groin, that little rotation through that lower back. What are you noticing? Are you tight through those IT bands? Possibly. We're going to get those guys next. So hold here, knees to one side, and breathe. Now we're going to work to rotate the torso, making sure the back stays happy and healthy. So we're working to level out the shoulders. You're going to feel that deeper stretch in that outer hip and down the IT band on that right leg. And then switch. Holding to the other side. Again, lengthening through the spine, working to rotate through the torso, through those shoulders. Breathe. So what's going on through the knee? Making sure the knee is happy, making sure the back is happy, staying strong through that core so we're not sinking in, staying long through that spine, and just listening to your body. So are you feeling any tension, any tightness going along that outer thigh? And release, coming back to center. So grab your foam roller. We're going to start on that right side. So we're going to come on to the foam roller just below your pelvis, so at the top of your femur, and we're going to bring that top foot forward. So to release that pressure, you're going to press through that left foot and you're going to lift a little bit off of the foam roller. Otherwise, you're going to just relax the weight of the body down as much as feels right to you. So just by sitting here, what do you feel? Okay, if it feels right to you, come down onto your forearm and we're going to just gently roll. So I'm kind of pushing with that left foot as I slide that foam roller back and forth. And you might need to adjust. You can be up on your hand. You can be down on your forearm. I want you to have that full range so that we stop just below the pelvis and stop just above the knee. So if you're like, wow, all right, that doesn't feel too bad. You can stack your feet. So now we've added some weight. How is that? That's pretty intense. And again, you can be down on your forearm and just pulling with that arm, pushing with the forearm and the hand. Now we're going to add a little rocking of the hips forward and back, a little cross fibering all down the side of that right leg. Whoo. And breathe. This is an intense one. Make sure you're breathing. If you need to back off a little bit, back off a little bit. So we're going to do like 10 passes. If you're feeling it and it's feeling great, you can do a few more. If it's too intense, you don't have to do that many. Good, we're going to go ahead and come on up. And then we're going to do the other side. So I'm just going to flip over, again, so my bum's not in your face. And I'm going to sit, bring that foam roller just to the top of the femur, just below the pelvis, and you can start. So if you're not really sure, again, one side's going to be a little more tender than the other, and we're just going to roll it. You're pushing through that top leg as much as you need to lift the body weight off of that foam roller or let it sink in. So that foot's just kind of guiding, pushing through, guiding with the forearm of the hand. If it feels right to you, yeah, come on, add that leg, layer them, stack them, bring it. Again, stopping before the knee, stopping before the pelvis, just going right along, outer thigh. If you like, adding that rocking, front to back, so those hips just rock, front and back. And then take it at your pace, okay? Nothing super fast, but it doesn't have to be super slow either. Listening to your body. And again, if you find something, stay there. You can do little rocking motions, little front to back motions. Breathe, and if you're like, okay, because sometimes the intensity can build up a little bit and you need to bring that foot back in front of you, it's okay. It's all good. You're taking care of yourself, and that's always a good thing. All right, coming off of the foam roller, when you're ready, do as many passes as you are wanting to do. All right, and sitting back a little bit, resting the hips back onto those heels. Hopefully feeling a gentle stretch through the front of the quads. Breathe. Bringing the hands forward, tuck your toes, walk your feet in to forward fold. And we're going to cross that right leg behind the left and bring those ankles just as tightly together as we can get them. So nice. All right, so this is our gentle stretch. Down those IT bands to the outer hips. Let's walk the hands to the left. And back through center. And then over to the right, drawing the nose toward your knees. And back through center. And slowly roll it up, one vertebra at a time. Crisscrossing those legs, a little challenge for our balance. Squeeze those inner thighs, roll those shoulders up and back. Let's lift that right arm to the sky, bend that right elbow, hand behind your head, left hand to the elbow, and gently press. Just a little bonus, tricep stretch, shoulder stretch, and lean to the left. This is going to deepen the stretch down that right side. Inhale it back to center, release your arms, and slowly hinge it back forward. That cross-legged forward fold, releasing that right foot, crossing the left behind the right. Bring those ankles just as tightly together as you can get them, and relax the weight of the upper body down. Noticing if one's better than the other, more challenging than the other. We lift just slightly and walk those hands to the right. And back through center, and we go to the left. And back through center. And let's roll it up. Big shoulder roll at the top. Reach that left arm up. Bend that left elbow, hand behind your head. Right hand to the elbow and gently press a little lean to the right. So we just get that little bonus stretch for the tricep and through the shoulder, through the rib cage. But that's going to transcend all the way down that left side of the body. Breathe. Inhale back to center, release your arms, hinge it forward to forward fold, uncross those legs, slowly bend those knees. Stretching through the ankles, I want you to shift your weight forward just a little bit, supporting with your hands, pressing your heels down towards the earth. Getting those calves, the Achilles. Do you notice one's a little more tight than the other? Shift your weight back to your heels, lessen that stretch. Again, lift your bum just slightly, transfer some weight forward into your toes, pressing your heels down towards the earth. And then gently bring it back safely. Come back down onto your bum. Bring those feet out once again. Feet are wide, leaning back onto your hands. Shift your knees to the left. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Lengthen that spine, core strong, and rotate. Breathe. Hopefully that stretch feels a little less intense. Little greater range of motion. Breath is easy. And slowly switch. Knees off to the right. We lengthen through the crown of the head, lifting that chest, rotating those shoulders, opening the chest towards the front as those knees go off to the right. Breathe. And slowly bring those knees back to center. Let's extend that left leg out, crossing that right foot up and over the left knee. Sit up nice and tall. And I just want you to notice that right hip, that left hamstring, the back of the leg. Flex your foot. Breathe. Let's rock back onto those hands and pull that left knee in. And you're going to walk those hands up, just getting into that hip. Now, guys, it can be farther away. It can stay long. Okay, so I just want you to find your good stretch for that right hip. Wherever that range is, I want you to notice, make sure that you still have a neck. I want you to lengthen and breathe. So hopefully, as we've worked the glutes and those IT bands, this is not feeling too bad. Gently release it, back it off, extend right leg, cross the left ankle over the right knee, and opening that knee out to the side. You can stay sitting up nice and tall, or yep, you can stay back. Feels good to you, pull that right foot in, lift out of the crown of the head. Make sure those shoulders are down and away, and you still have that beautiful long neck. And breathe. How does the hip feel? Pretty good, I hope. All right, so far we have done the side of the legs and the glutes, the hip. We're going to get into the front of the leg. So we're going to pull in that softball. Back it off, grab your softball, and we're going to come onto our tummies. So we're going to place that softball on the mat, and as we're laying down, we're going to place that softball kind of right in that hip crease. You'll find it, you'll feel it, I promise. So this is your psoas. Let's check out that psoas real quick before you can hold on to your softball. We're going to take that right foot forward and we're going to create a 90-degree bend with those legs. We're going to squeeze the buns and do a pelvic tilt. So the back of your pelvis tucked under. Breathe. So squeezing the buns, that pelvic tilt. So do you feel the tension, that tightness right through the front of those hip flexors? Yep, psoas and hip flexors. We're going to get into them. Gently release, and we're going to take a giant step forward with that right foot and lean in. Inhale, straighten that right leg a little bit, and then exhale, sink. Again, inhale, straighten. And exhale, sink. Remember, we want this to be gentle, not crazy. One more time, inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. Now shift that left foot inward. You're going to open up the hips and allow the pelvis to open to the side. Right hand is just resting on the knee. And again, we're going to go inhale and straighten that right leg a little bit, and exhale and sink. Hello, inner thigh and groin. Yep. And sink. So just up and down 3 times. Inhale, lift, and exhale, sink. Inhale, lift. Once again, turn back to face front. Pull that right foot in and switch. So now that left foot comes forward just to create that 90-degree bend in the legs. That squeeze of the buns, that tuck of the pelvis, and that deeper stretch through the front of that right leg. So as you can pinpoint, if you're able to, that really deep stretch, that intense stretch, that's your psoas. That doesn't mean it's always tight, but oftentimes the amount we sit, we drive, we work behind a desk, we work on the computer, that kind of thing, it can shorten and tighten. Now gently release that pelvic tilt, take a big step forward with that left foot, and go ahead and lean in. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten, gentle stretch. Exhale and sink. One more time. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten just slightly. Lift that right foot, draw it inward, open the pelvis to the side, and bend that left knee, sink in. And inhale, rise. And exhale, sink. And inhale, rise. One more time, exhale, sink. And inhale, rise. Go ahead and straighten that right foot out. Pull that left foot in. Now we're going to take that softball. And right where you felt that little pinpoint stretch, we're going to keep the ball there as best you can. So you can place it on your mat. You can hold it right along the pelvis, kind of where the hip and the leg meet, where they join. That's kind of where you want to feel it. And as you lay down onto your ball, I just want you to rock side to side very gently. Okay, so you can kind of press through your knees and lift through your elbows to manage how much weight is pressing down onto the ball. And if you're like, wow, I just can't find that spot, just gently move. You'll find it. Once you find it, I want you to do your best to just relax. Relax the weight onto that ball. And again, we are not going to a 10. I don't want the 10 on the intensity scale. I just want it to feel like you're doing something very positive for your body. And if you need to move, move. Yep, I just found that spot. And again, you don't have to move, but you can. You can rock side to side just with a gentle rotation, little twist of the pelvis, a little side to side motion with those hips. This does not have to be anything humongous. Just really take care of yourself. If you push too deep, yes, you can bruise yourself, so I do not want that to happen. So even weight, we're not overexerting weight onto that left side, or whichever side you're working. So let's come back to center and just kind of find that little pocket in the hip joint where the leg and the hip meet. I don't want this to be too intense. We're going to slowly pull that knee out to the side and then roll it back to long leg. Out to the side and back in. Now if the ball moves, just adjust it. You got the freedom to do that. And you can kind of lay down onto that right leg a little bit, allowing a little freer motion of that leg. So the leg that does not have the ball, you can rest it on the mat. Breathe. One more pass. And we're going to take it to the other side. Again, I'm going to switch so it's a little easier for you to see. I'm going to lower myself down onto that ball, coming onto my forearms. And again, managing how much weight is pressing into that ball. It might be worse or better on this side. So when I say worse, it might be more intense, right? So we want to take care. If all of a sudden the wind was just sucked out of you, back off a little bit. That's a good indication that you hit like a 9 or a 10. Back off. Find that 6 or 7. And then we're just going to adjust. Hello. And find that space. Okay? So, and again, like I said before, it is not uncommon for this to make you sweat. Okay, so when you find those deep muscular and myofascia knots, to get rid of them, it takes effort. And it takes some work from your body. It takes big, full, deep breaths. And it's going to take some good hydration. Some love and tenderness from you. A little sense of humor. as this can be like, oh my goodness. Okay, so if you do find those spots, yep, you can just wiggle your bum side to side, those little movements, getting in, little rock of the hips side to side. Feels right to you, lay over onto the leg that is not working with the ball a little bit more so that you can have that freedom to pull the knee up and extend the leg, lift it up and back. So we're getting a little bit more into that groin, right? And that's psoas. There it is. And a little bit of groin. And that's psoas. Hello. So those stretches that we just did, hip flexors, psoas, and through the groin, that's exactly what we're trying to get done here with that self-massage. Let's do one more pass. Checking in. Good. Go ahead and release. Walk your hands up. Go ahead and place that ball off to the side. And back up we go. Okay, so that right leg coming forward, creating that 90-degree bend. That pelvic tilt. Squeeze your buns. Bottom of the pelvis coming forward, top of the pelvis tipping towards the back. How's it feel? A little less intense? Mine definitely is a little less intense. That's a good thing. Hands are just resting wherever you want them. Gently release that intensity. Big step forward with that right foot and lean in. Way better. I hope you feel that too. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. One more time. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. This time come up just enough so that you can shift that left foot in and open the pelvis to the side. Lean in. Groin says thank you. Liked that massage of the ball. Inhale, rise, and exhale, sink. Inhale, rise, and exhale, sink. Inhale, rise, and exhale, sink. Inhale, rise, shift that left foot back, pull your right foot in. Left foot comes forward again to that 90 degrees, so not a giant step at this point, and a little pelvic tilt. Squeeze your buns. Bottom of the pelvis forward, top of the pelvis back. Rest your hands wherever you want them, and just squeeze. How does it feel? Right through the front of that right leg. Activating those glutes as you're squeezing heavy, hard, and just that nice stretch all down the front. Way less intense. What a great thing. I love the foam roller and self-massage. Gently releasing that intensity, giant step forward and lean in. And again, hands rest wherever you like. Chest is tall. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. One more time. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. This time as we straighten, we're going to shift that right foot in, open the pelvis to the side, and sink. And inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. How you doing? Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten, shift that foot back, and bring those knees back together. Let's sit it back to child's pose. Great stretch for the quads. Finding your breath. Full deep breaths. So hopefully this is a fairly gentle stretch for your quadriceps. If your quads are like super, super, super tight, might be a little more intense if you need to sit and place that foam roller kind of between your bum and your heels. That's a great modification and a great way to ease into this stretch. Let's slowly walk the hands up, coming up to a kneeling position. I want you to squeeze your buns and push your hips forward. That's going to lengthen all down the front. Quads. Squeeze the buns. And gently release. Remember, this is all about being gentle, right? So we're going to place that foam roller right out in front of us. Here we go for the front of those legs. So we're going to roll that ball back, or the foam roller back to the knees, and we're going to come forward. We're going to place the foam roller above the knees. And we're going to come into kind of an army crawl. Core is strong. We're lifting out of those shoulders. And we're just going to gently roll forward. And then we're going to push back through those forearms and the elbows. Pull it forward. So we're stopping before the knees. So just as we go along the fiber, of those quadriceps right along the front of your legs. How does that feel? Might not be too bad. If it is, breathe, close your eyes. Make your range of motion a little smaller. Don't go quite so long. If you're like, that actually feels pretty good, I want you to slightly bend your knees and rock your feet side to side as you pull forward and back. So we're getting a little bit of cross fibering here as we pull back and forth. So if you feel kind of a ropey sensation along the front of the legs as you cross over that foam roller, that's your muscles and your fascia. So they should just be really smooth. I'm definitely feeling some ropiness going on. Yeah, I'll be drinking a lot of water here when I'm done. It's been a little too long since I've done the foam roller, apparently. We're rocking the hips, we're rocking those feet, and you can go at your pace. And then I'm going to come back and I'm just going to do that one more time. Just ride along the fiber. And you can army crawl it forward, you can army crawl it back, little core work, little shoulder work. As obviously those legs got worked super hard in the last day or two. And coming back to center. Go ahead and walk it back to the point where you can get your knees to the mat. And place that foam roller off to the side. I'll get it out of your way and sit it back to child's pose. How are those quads? Big, full, deep breaths. Let's walk those hands up onto those knees, squeeze your buns, press those hips forward just a little bit, really lengthening all the way down the front of the legs, little lean back. Again, this is gentle stretches, not crazy stretches. If you need a deeper stretch and you know one, please feel free. I just want you to get gentle stretches. We're not trying to aggravate anything, we're trying to chill it out. And gently release. Let's bring those hands down. Walk your hands towards the top of your mat, tuck your toes, lift your hips to down dog. Beautiful stretch for the hamstrings and for the calves. Let's bend that right knee, left heel presses towards the mat. Remember, gentle, right? Switch sides, left knee bends, right heel down. Switch again. And one more time. My quads are feeling all warm and fuzzy. That's so good. And then as you exhale, let both heels sink. We're going to inhale and bend both knees. Thighs come towards the bottom of the tummy. Heels rise. And then as you exhale, press your heels down towards the earth. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, bend. And exhale, press. One more time. Inhale, bend. And exhale, press. Let's inhale it to a high plank position. Bring the knees to the mat, to tabletop. Grab your foam roller. And we're going to bring that foam roller behind us. And we're going to sit on that foam roller. We're going to bring our hands behind us. And we're going to lower back. So we're going to slide kind of off of our bottom. And we're just going to roll front to back. Little core work, little shoulder work. Breathe. So your bottom might find the mat and then extend. Find the mat, and then it's almost like you come into a reverse plank. But we're being supported by that foam roller. Getting those hamstrings, if you're wanting a little deeper stretch, yep, you can walk your hands back. Don't lower your bottom and walk it back. So a little more work for the shoulders. You decide what's right. We're going to roll those feet out and then pull it back. So with those toes rolled out, just getting the outer edge of those hamstrings and pull it back. Once again, toes to the sky, press it forward. You can walk the hands or you can just get that shoulder stretch like I'm doing, just pressing it out in a way. Just make sure you're taking care of your shoulders. Little internal rotation, big toes towards one another. Keeping that core strong. That actually feels really good on my shoulders too. I love all the little added bonuses. Toes back towards the sky. And go ahead and find your bottom to the mat. Go ahead and slide the foam roller down. And we're going to slide the foam roller kind of to the top of your calf, just below your knees. And we're going to cross right leg over the left. Hands are behind us once again. And we're going to lift our bottom. And we're going to kind of pull ourselves back and push forward. You might need to adjust where your hands are to find that perfect place. And so as we've stacked the feet, that's just going to add a little weight to the massage of the calf. And again, rolling the hip out, those toes out, rolling the toes in. This can be mean sometimes. Actually not too bad right now. Toes back towards the sky, and that range of motion is whatever you need it to be. Okay, and again, we're working those shoulders, so be nice. If you need a break, take one. And switch. Lower it down, give it a little shake. Cross that left leg up and over. Bring the hands behind and lift your bum. And we press and pull. Forward and back. Oh my gosh, my right one is way tighter than my left. Listening to your body. And again, like I said, sense of humor, right? We learn stuff all the time. Keeping a soft bend in the elbows. If those shoulders are getting tired, just stop for a second, come back to it. Oh my gosh, if you find that spot, stay on it. Anytime you find that trigger point, guys, just stay on it. Little rocks, little motions back and forth. We're just trying to let it go. Funny, left one felt great. Right one, not so much. And then go ahead and release both. Let's bring that foam roller off to the side, crisscross those legs, and we step it back to our downward facing dog, however you like to come to your down dog. And let's bend that right knee. Left heel presses towards the mat. Way better. Switch sides. And one more time each. As you exhale, let both heels sink. Inhale, bend both knees, lift your both heels. Tummy and thighs come towards one another, and then exhale, press it away. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, bend. And exhale, press. Inhale, bend. And exhale, press. And inhale it to high plank. Release your knees, keep those toes tucked under, press your bottom back, press those palms into the earth, and just a really nice stretch for your toes and for the arches of your feet. Lifting just slightly enough to untuck those toes, sit it back, and breathe. And slowly walk your hands back up. Let's find a seated position, crisscrossing those legs. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, lengthen and hinge it forward. Release your hands down and relax the weight of your head. And as we check in, hips, lower back, knees, groin, feet. You take a moment with a grateful heart and an appreciation for your beautiful body and all the hard work it does for us. My friends, I hope that felt amazing. Inhale, circle the hands back by your hips. Big circle of those arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, release your arms and switch so the other leg is in front. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, lengthen, hinge it forward. Release your hands. And and release it down. Checking in with this leg in front, how it feels differently, how and where. Let your breath just help you sink. Each exhale, letting go. I hope that you felt that that was time well spent. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you. Inhale, circle the hands back by your hips. Big circle those arms up and overhead. And exhale, release your arms and let your hands rest. My friend, thank you for joining me. I hope you are feeling amazing. I hope that whatever soreness you had has lessened quite a bit, if not all the way. And just take care of yourself. Be well. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep taking care of yourself. And I appreciate you taking time with me today to do just that. Until the next time, namaste.